Yeah, it's an interesting game. I'm very excited to play this match tomorrow. It's a good opponent. Yeah, gotta be interesting.
We will begin with Jeff Carlisle from ESPN.
Thank you, Michael. Hey, John. Just curious, how many times have you and Alphonso Davies squared off in the Bundesliga? Not so much maybe just playing against Bayern, but how often have you found yourselves in the same part of the field where you've kind of been one-on-one?
To be honest, I can't think of one situation. I play left center back. He plays left wing. It's not that often, so can't remember one time.
Next, we'll go to Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Thanks, Michael, and thanks, John. Though you haven't matched up one-on-one with Alfonso, how much do you get motivated when you look across as a defensive line and you see players like Alfonso? Kyle Larin has scored a lot for Besiktas and for the national team. Jonathan David scoring a lot in Europe as well. Do you get some personal individual motivation to win those battles, to win those duels against those types of players? Thank you.
Not like a special motivation, but of course, you know the guys you face, or I face tomorrow, and I know the quality of the players, and of course I know I have to be on point, and yeah, can't wait.
Next will be Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Thank you, Michael.
No picture.
John, we know there's a lot of rotation going on with the team over these 3 days and 3 games in a short amount of time. What's it like for you being one of those players in the middle of that? And also, we've heard a lot over the last couple of days about the guys who were playing a CONCACAF road game for the first time. And I wonder if you were one of the players who might have said a few words to them about what it's like. Thanks.
Yeah, for me, I knew from the beginning that I'm one of the players who might start the second game and not play the first game. That's what the coach told me from the beginning, and I knew I have to support the guys from the bench up, and that was totally fine with me. We have good players on the roster, so it's totally okay. And for me, these games, of course, you can tell them, you give them advice and tell them a lot about these games, but for me, you have to play these games to understand how it is to play these games. So I think now that a lot of players got their first match in, I think now they understand what the coach or maybe I tell them before the game.
Next will be Ron Blum from the Associated Press.
Hey, John.
Hello.
How do you view playing against Canada as a different tactical challenge than playing against El Salvador?
I think every game is different. El Salvador has different players, plays a different tactic. I think Canada, because a lot of players also play in Europe, is maybe similar to us. Yeah, it's every time a challenge, and yeah.
Next will be Daniel Nora from Univision.
Hi, John.
Hello.
I just want to ask you, you faced Canada during the Gold Cup. I'm wondering if you got the chance to watch that game and to get a lesson from that game. And considering what they brought with Davis and Buchanan and their speed, how important do you think it's to have solid defensive fullbacks for tomorrow's game, particularly?
I think it's not only the fullbacks that are important. I think the whole team has to work hard tomorrow, help each other, be there for each other to stop these guys too. It's not particular the fullbacks. And yeah, that's basically it.
Next will be Ivis Galarcep from SBI Soccer.
John, obviously you're usually on the field and not on the bench for these kind of games, but as you're sitting there watching the game on Thursday, what did you feel like was missing from the team on Thursday? And what do you think needs to get better to make sure that you get the 3 points against the Canada team that you beat in Nations League and played pretty well against, but obviously, it's 2 years later, it's a little different atmosphere.
Yeah. First of all, I think it's important that we didn't lose these games. It's a good point on the road. These games, like everybody knows, are very difficult. Like I said, we had a lot of players that played these kind of games the first time, and they have to get used to it. And I think even though we didn't score a goal, we had a good match.
Next will be Charles Bone from MLSsoccer.com.
Hi, John. Thanks for speaking today. I wanted to ask you about the ability to change formations and change your shape as a team. I'm sure that's a useful option, but I know there's also maybe risk of disrupting the understanding you have and the relationships between players. So I wonder, what's your view on that matter, and would you anticipate maybe shifting your shape to adapt to what Canada does well?
In my opinion is that we have to focus on ourselves. So don't look that much to what Canada does. If they play 5 in the back, okay, then they play 5 in the back. If the coach tells us to play 5 in the back, we play 5 in the back. I think we have the ability to play a lot of formations. We have a lot of players that can play a lot of positions good. Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll take 2 more questions for John. First from Roberto Abramowitz.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hello.
For new fans of U.S. soccer, right, that have joined within the past 4 or 5 years and don't seem to be able to comprehend why a team full of European players and some of the best teams in Europe goes and struggles in a place like El Salvador in CONCACAF competition. Can you explain from your perspective, obviously, why that is, why it's so difficult to play and get points in Central America?
I think I answer this question every time. But these kind of games are, how to say, good. For El Salvador or Honduras, I don't know, is maybe the biggest game of the year for the national team. And so they will give everything they have, and they're going to make it as hard as possible for us. And yeah, what should I say, is every game on the road is hard, even going to El Salvador. Every game is hard, like I said. I don't know what to say.
Last question for John comes from Stam Stechkel.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, John, for taking the time for doing this. Hope you're doing well. I'm just curious, you played in November 2019 against Canada in the Nations League. It was kind of a difficult time for the team. They just lost to Canada and lost to Mexico in a friendly in the month before, and there were a lot of questions. What do you remember from that game, and do you look at it as kind of a turning point for this team, for this young team, and for a head coach who at the time wasn't even a year into the job?
What I remember was a good game from us. We played as a team. I think we did everything what the coach said, what leads us to win the game. And what was the score again? 4-1? Yeah. That's all I have to say.